So to give a bit of a background as to who I am, I'm Korean and I lived in Korea for the first 7 years of my life with my two parents and my older sister. And so growing up in Korea, there weren't any real anti-discrimination laws that protected LGBT individuals specifically. So having grown up in that environment, it was pretty difficult seeing any famous queer individuals in popular media, just because people were afraid of coming out because of like fear of being fired from work or being expelled from school and things like that. Um, yeah, and so when I was growing up in Korea, I wasn't really able to see kind of role models. And then it was only really after I moved here to Australia, um, I was fortunate enough to have been surrounded by friends who were either queer themselves or they were allies. So I was in a comfortable environment to be able to kind of learn about my identity and to question it. Um, and then over time, I kind of grew to understand that I was pansexual. And so having that kind of support network was really helpful for me. Um, and then in terms of coming out, I guess with my friends, I never really had to come out to them because they never expected me to be straight in the first place, which was really great. I feel like coming out can be kind of like a chore, having to like explain yourself. So yeah, with my friends, it was good. And then, yeah, coming out with my sister was a good experience as well. She was understanding, and I came out to her before my parents. And during that period, she was always supportive of me, which was good. And then coming out to my parents, they were the last people that I kind of came out to. And that was because they're Korean and they've lived there for 30 something years. Um, they weren't really used to seeing queer individuals, and they didn't really know anything about it. Um, so yeah, I kind of hesitated in coming out. Um, and also, we only really speak Korean at home, not English. And I'm kind of bad with my Korean. So I had to kind of like study Korean, like in order to come out to my parents, which was kind of a hassle. But yeah, so I kind of like studied Korean and then I kind of told them that I was pansexual. And initially, they found it difficult to understand it, which was understandable. They didn't really know much about it. And so for like a few months, things were a bit tense, I guess. But then over time, my parents put in the effort to try and understand what it meant for myself to be pansexual. And we kind of maintained that constant communication where, like, if they had any questions, I would try and answer to the best of my capacity. And so over time, with that kind of communication, I think we were able to understand each other better. And so now I'm openly queer to basically everyone now. Yeah, and it's been great. Probably most helpful was having my close group of friends who were either queer identifying or were like strong allies of the queer community. So yeah, I found it comfortable talking about my identity and discussing it with them because they had that kind of shared experience. And I also found it helpful. Um, I tried joining other communities that was from a similar background as I was in terms of like age and like different identities in the queer community. And I felt like joining that kind of queer community helped me kind of find the sense of belonging and to find the courage to eventually come out to my parents. So yeah, I would say, yeah, having that kind of community of people that you can trust and be around, yeah, that was really helpful. So probably my broad advice would be to kind of find those communities of queer identifying individuals that can help you find that sense of belonging. And because I had my friends, I never really sought out formal services when I was younger. I didn't really feel the need to. But I guess after I started university, I joined the Pinnacle Foundation, which is an organization that provides scholarships and mentoring for students, queer students in tertiary education. And so after I joined that organization as a scholar, I was able to meet other scholars as well who are also around my age, studying in university and queer identifying. So now the other scholars and I kind of meet often, and we just kind of like chat about what's been going on, and we're pretty open about the things that we talk about. So I found that really helpful. And I know that there are other organizations that are available that are young people network with other queer young people. I know like I guess 2010 and minus 18. And I think Very Purple also has certain events, social events, where young queer individuals can meet other people. So I think maybe participating in those types of events from those organizations can help you find more friends, so that, yeah, you can have friends that kind of share your experience.